Hey, I'm Alan Brito, I'm an architect, and today I have a tutorial about how to control your textures in Blender and how to set them to real-world scales. This is a question that I get a lot from people migrating from SketchUp, from a 3ds Max, and anyone trying to use Blender for architecture, how to control, how to set their textures to real-world sizes. And in this tutorial, let me explain to you step by step what you have to do to get a texture and set them to real world scales. So let's get started. First thing, let me get off the screen and we can begin. And to begin our tutorial, as you can see here, I'll be using the default cube from Blender, and I'll apply textures to this object and others. Here on my image editor, I have 3 images with labels. It will make it easier for us to keep track of texture sizing. First one is 2 by 2 meters. I didn't made these images in Blender. Those are the textures that I usually use when I'm giving a workshop or live training about Blender. I have this other one here with 1 by 1 meter and 0.75 and 0.75, 75 centimeters. By the way, the workflow that I'll be explaining in this tutorial works the same way for either the metric or imperial system. You just have to make the conversions. Now, what is the first step? Let me select this cube here. Let's double check in case you are not aware, in case you don't remember. This cube here, it has 2 by 2 by 2 meters. And I will apply a material. It already has a material. Let's add a few nodes. No big deal here. You can use the same workflow that in most cases we apply for these textures. Now, let me add here an image texture, connect everything, and the only major difference here will be in the mapping. I will ask Blender to map the texture space and not the point. And for everything else, let's start with the 2 by 2 meters and change the projection here to box. And if I set here my material preview, and as you can see, this one is easy. We have a texture with the real world scale. The problem here is when you apply a scale, press Ctrl A to reset your size, your scale factor. Your texture will resize with the object. That's not what we want. Now, the secret here, the thing that will make a massive difference here in Blender, is using this option right here in the Data tab. Let me open that for you. You have to select the object and open this section here called Texture Space. In Texture Space, you will see that Blender will always start with this option here, Enable Auto Texture Space. It means whenever you set or resize your object, Blender will resize it with the object. That's not what we want. So I will disable this option and let's take a look into the difference. If I now try to resize my object, press Ctrl A, scale, here's the difference. Our textures, they are with a fixed size. Let's see if it's the same with a different type of object. Let me add here a plane. I will move it here. Let's apply the same material. Let me apply a rotation here. Y 90 degrees. And unfortunately, you will have to change the settings for this texture by object. As you can see, we have the cube here with the auto texture off, disabled, and the plane, it has an auto texture space enable. Let me reset here the scale for the plane and disable this option. Press Ctrl A again. And I just need to reset the size here. Let me Ctrl C and Ctrl V here, the sizes, the size Y X, Y, and Z here in the texture space. And as you can notice, if I set my view here to the side, right view, G, Z, and if I match them, you will see that the textures, they have the same size. Now, these settings here, they are really important because they will control the size of the scale of your texture. In this case, I'm using 1, and I started with 2 meters by 2 meters. And as a rule of thumb, you can use this size here with half the size that you want to apply to your objects. For instance, if I change my texture to 1 meter, you can see that I just replaced the image and just the label changed one by one. So we need to make an adjustment here. And the adjustment is just to change the size here to 0.5. If I set this one to 0.5, Control C or Command V if you are on a Mac. And go back to take a look. You will see that this object here, unfortunately, I will have to do this by object. Control C, Control V, V. It will change. And by the way, let's measure this object here so you can take a look on the size, on the scale. Let's change the sizing of this cube here so it will have 4 by 4 by 4 meters. And as you can notice, let me erase this. Four by 4 by 4. Don't need this one. And I just have to reset my scale here. Control A, scale. Control A, scales, just to make sure. And here we have it. 1 by 1 by 1. You can control the sizing or the position of your texture here in the location. Let me select this cube here. Let me move all of the textures here to 1.5. And there we have it. Now, what if we have an object with 0. Or if you want to use 0.75? No problem. You can use the same workflow. Let me change here to 0.75. It will change the image. To make the proper adjustments, you have to update here the sizing in both objects. In this case here, you can type 0.75 divided by 2. Blender will do the math for you. And you can just copy and paste the new scale. Control C, Control V. Same thing here. Let me reset this. And we have our new texture. So this is the workflow that I usually apply to my projects to control real world scale. You have to disable the auto texture space. And as a rule of thumb, you will be using half the size of the texture size that you know that you have to use here on your objects in the size panel. Why half the size? Well, from the Blender documentation, if I'm not mistaken, Blender uses from the texture space, it uses the radius from the texture space to measure the size of your object. So that's why you have to use half the size of the block that you need for your textures. And this is it. What about you? Do you know any other method to control scales for textures in Blender in a similar way to what we do, for instance, in SketchUp? Share with us in the comments. Well, I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to keep learning about Blender, I will leave links in the description for some additional learning resources. My book here, Blender 5, Precise Modeling for Architecture, Engineering, and 3D Printing, with their respective translations. And I also have a workshop where I explain how to use Blender as a CAD tool. It's the same content from the book, but in a workshop format. Links in the description. You will support my work here in Blender 3D Architect. Again, I hope you like this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you next time. Bye.